retailers and other wholesale brands, it's important to keep your brand relevant. So you really want to make sure that you're appealing to a younger audience. Otherwise, you'll go the way of your customer, and we don't want that to happen. So it's important to remain relevant to a younger client and to think about merchandising for that younger client. What's going to be appealing to him? Not to offend anybody, but the days of the old tailored clothing, the turnarounds in the department, and you had John the salesman with the tape measure there to greet you. What size are you? And they have a big rounder, and he goes, the 40 regs are over there. And it doesn't work anymore. It really doesn't. Nobody wants to shop that way. That's not, and it was interesting because a couple of years ago, well, I guess more than a couple of years ago, we made the change, to go to more lifestyle presentation. We had a couple of stores that said, you know what, we don't want to do that. We want to keep it old school, and we want to go with sizing. And you know what, we let them, and we did a test, and they stunk. So then they became believers too, and they went to a lifestyle presentation. So, it's out there, it's real, and I think you need to remain current. You need to really make sure that you don't become dusty. The next part of it is that, oftentimes I work for a larger store, but, the part of it is that we really look at envy sometimes as the specialty stores because of the work that they're able to do with their customers. The fact that you're on the floor as a proprietor of that store and you can talk to the customers about why you bought this, what this brand represents, and all of the things that went into the purchase, and then you can really make sure that that lifestyle presentation is shown on the floor. We're very much in envy of all of these retailers. I think it's important for small stores and specialty stores to think about their competitive edge. They really can be much more nimble, they can move much more quickly, they can understand who their customer is, they can make sure that the brand is shown on the floor the way that they envisioned it when they bought it in the showroom. That's a big challenge for the big stores. I know, some of the people in the audience are with big stores or have worked with big stores, and it's all great when you're at a showroom table and you lay it all out and it looks terrific, this assortment, and then it ends up out in California and it looks like, what happened? What did you guys do? It's a big problem. So, I think it's really important for smaller stores and specialty stores to think about, how can they show the lifestyle presentation, how can they show the brand in the store, and they can take advantage of that. And the other strategic advantage, is when you think about online business, the biggest competitor probably that all of our brick and mortar guys have is online, that it's growing by leaps and bounds. Well, guess what? It's here to stay, it's going to get bigger. So you got to figure out what is your way to survive, what's your way to grow. And again, it's about personalized service, it's about the way that you portray the brand, and the way that you edit the buys that you do. And you can really have success because everything is out there on the internet. It's almost too much. It can become overwhelming for the consumer. If they know what they want, they can buy it online. But if they want your point of view, they want your opinion, and they trust for you to bring great new brands and to assort it in a great way, that's a strategic advantage for the stores. So it's something that you really need to think about and exploit. Because if you continue to show your merchandise as classification, dress shirt area, clothing area, the shoe area, well, that looks like an internet page. And, why are you going to the store unless you have a great seller? So it's really about the way you assort it, the way that you stimulate the customer. The customer definitely gets it. One point is that you're going to over-guess your customer, and they're not going to understand what you're trying to achieve. And that's not the case. Again, just from the example I gave you with the tailored clothing, whether you do it size or by lifestyle, just one indication. But we've seen just more and more, and I'm sure all of you have seen the stores in your marketplace from the store. The customer really gets it. They understand the brand. They want to see the brand with that authenticity. And when you're able to show it, they understand it. One thing too that goes along with this lifestyle dressing is buying critical mass. So it's something that we deal with a lot. Is if you buy something, you're a retailer, you have to buy with some conviction because the customer will sense it. So if you go into a store and you have your Armani department, and you have your Zegna department, and there is 200 suits of each in those departments, and then you have a new emerging vendor, and there's only 50 suits there, it looks like you don't believe in it. So it's like, what am I doing? So it's important for you to show these new emerging brands and apply them with conviction. So you need to show the lifestyle, and it's almost more important with some small emerging brands that when you do bring in that product, that you show the full lifestyle. So it might mean buying some of the product that is for window dressing. Maybe you buy a couple markdowns. So maybe you do buy the shoes that go with the whole outfit. Maybe you buy the jewelry that goes with the outfit, the hat, the belts. But you need all that to tell the story of the product. So you need to romance it. You need to tell that lifestyle. Tell that customer what that lifestyle is all about. So the next, I had two specialty store retailers, and the first one is a typo. It's Corso Como, which is in Milan, and the second one is Colette in Paris. These are really, for those of you who have had a chance to get around the world to go to some of these places, two really fabulous specialty stores. I think that they're wonderful. We make it part of our circuit every time when I get to those cities to go to those stores for sure. And more than anybody, these two probably show lifestyle, format of presentation better than anybody. Both of them are anchored in apparel, so make no bones about it. They're anchored in apparel, and they do a great job of launching brands. They do a great job with their windows. They do a great job in